These are Maryland cold cases from 1980 through 1993. Before we go over the cold cases, please make sure that you're following the channel. You give this video a like and you share it out. It not only helps the channel, but it helps spread awareness on these cases. Also, please forgive me for any names that I may mispronounce. Judith ODonnell disappeared from Baltimore, Maryland on November 30th, 1980. She was 19 years old. She would now be 63. She was 5'10" and weighed 140 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. If you have any information, call 1-800-445-2500. Katherine Crackenbush disappeared from Delmar, Maryland on July 14, 1981. She was 17 years old. She would now be 60. She was 5'2" and weighed 105 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes. If you have any information, call 410-290-0500. Toya Hill disappeared from Baltimore, Maryland on March 24, 1982. She was 8 years old. She would now be 50. She was 4 foot and weighed 80 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information, call 410-396-2334. Kimberly Milo disappeared from Crewe, Maryland on June 9, 1983. She was 20 years old. She would now be 62. She was 4'11" and weighed 98 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information, call 301-772-4925. Shannon Potter disappeared from Baltimore, Maryland on March 3, 1984. She was 13 years old. She would now be 54. She was 5'5" and weighed 140 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information about Shannon, call 410-887-3943. Tiffany Go disappeared from Frederick, Maryland on December 5, 1987. She was 12 years old. She would now be 49. She was 5 foot and weighed 78 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information, call 301-600-2100. Melody McCoy disappeared from Baltimore, Maryland on December 1, 1991. She was 12 years old. She would now be 44. She was 5 foot and weighed 100 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information, call 443-984-7114. William Brooks disappeared from Frederick, Maryland on August 24, 1992. He was 17 years old. He would now be 49. He was 6 foot and weighed 150 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information, call 301-694-2100. Michael Andrews disappeared from Baltimore, Maryland on January 8, 1993. He was 18 years old. He would now be 50. He was 5'8" and weighed 160 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes. If you have any information, call 443-984-7114. George Berinsky disappeared from Brentwood, Maryland on May 24, 1993. He was 10 years old. He would now be 42. He was 4 foot and weighed 60 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. Any information, call 301-772-4925. Mariah Lee Maningo disappeared from Baltimore, Maryland on September 3, 1993. She was 2 months old. She would now be 31 years old. She was 1 foot and weighed 10 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes. If you have any information, call 443-984-7114. If you have any information on any of these missing persons, please call the number listed with their case.